It's Awesome One Joey here from Ring Post Daily Podcast, and we are going to get into the 2024 Royal Rumble event with some ups, some downs, some yays and nays. We're going to get into it starting now. So we give WWE the very first up here, starting the Rumble event off with a Royal Rumble match. Now, everyone, especially in this match, the Women's Rumble, everyone was saying, I'm going to Mania, I'm going to WrestleMania, I'm going to win the Rumble. And it was all down to this match. Who was going to win the 2024 Women's Rumble? Now, we saw some returns, we saw some debuts, we saw some surprise entrants, and we're going to go over all that right now. So we start off the 2024 Women's Rumble with Natalya. Natalya comes out, WWE veteran, been in the business for over 10 years, and you think, okay, here we go, we're going to get into the superstars of WWE today. And then number 2 comes out, and we all expect surprise entrants, we all expect returns and debuts, and all kinds of surprises. And WWE did not disappoint. On the very second entry, we get the returning Naomi. Now, Naomi was in TNA for a while, probably for the past year and a half, something like that. And she went by Trinity. Now, she takes this Naomi name and this WWE stuff, and she leaves it behind to go make a name for herself, such as names as Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, people like that who leave the WWE machine, come back bigger and a better name, and WWE says, hey, we've seen that you can put more money in our pockets. We see that you can be a bigger superstar. And that's what Naomi did. Now, maybe being married to one of the Usos and being part of that Roman Reigns bloodline in a way kind of helped her, but that's hearsay nor say. Naomi coming back as a second entry already sets the tone for the Rumble. You're gonna have Natalya, you're gonna have people like Natalya, your normal WWE stars, and now you're gonna have Naomi. You're gonna see some surprise entrants, even if you guessed it, even if you knew it, it happened. Then we get Bayley. Now Bayley won the Rumble. She came in at number 3, and she was representing SmackDown. And Naomi and Natalya, 1 and 2 is a hard spot to come in at, but 3 is, I believe those 1, 2, and 3 spots are very, very hard to win from. And Bayley coming in at number 3 and pulling the whole damn thing off was amazing to see. But it didn't stop there. We got some more WWE stars in here, but we're going to go through the ones that were really, really great to see. Like number 5. Jordynne Grace from TNA, the TNA Knockouts Women's World Champion. Now, we saw this once before, a couple years ago, with Mickie James coming out as the Impact World Champion. Well, now TNA has turned their brand back around, so to say, and instead of going by Impact and Anthem, they're going by TNA Wrestling. This is what fans wanted. This is what everyone wanted to see. They wanted to see TNA go back to TNA. And we just saw the new TNA titles revealed. We just saw their very first TNA Hard to Kill pay-per-view. And what a way to, give a little bit of positive eyes toward their product by introducing their TNA World Champion and the new TNA World Championship on a WWE screen. So that was pretty cool to see Jordynne Grace come in and be the second person, I believe, to come in as a TNA champion. And just to hear the name TNA, just to see that logo on the title TNA in the WWE ring is surreal, because back in 2009, 2010, 2004, this wasn't going to happen. This would have never happened. But times have changed. Triple H is in charge. Bye-bye Vince. We are now getting the WWE that we want. And it starts with stuff like this. We talk about forbidden doors. This was a door that was opened years ago, one time, and now it's here again. So we get through some Raw and SmackDown stars. And a lot of them we were rooting for. A lot of them we just knew were fillers. But then we get to the big number for me. And that was number 19, Nia Jax. Now, Nia Jax was a big entry for me, because Nia Jax has, ever since she's come back, she's been pushed pretty good. She's been facing off against main eventers like Becky Lynch. She's been squashing people. Like, the Maxine Duprees and, the Shotzi's on the roster, people like that. But Nia Jax has come back and she's really worked hard on her in-ring skills. She's trying to be better on the mic. She's trying to be a safer talent. Everyone deserves a second chance. Ever since she's returned, WWE's worked with her. They've obviously trained with her. They've given her their platform and said, hey, we trust you this second time around. Do something good for us. Nia Jax has always entered in at later numbers. And 19 is a pretty late number. It's right before 20, right? So to see Nia Jax come out at 19, that's when everything pauses. That's when, oh my God, now we're picking up. Now business is picking up. Now we're getting to the real part of the Rumble we're waiting to see. And Nia Jax coming in, you're wondering who's going to eliminate her, who's she going to dominate, how many people she going to throw over. And Nia Jax didn't disappoint. She came in like a wrecking ball. She came in and destroyed people. She destroyed talent. She went through everything. Then after her, we get we get one of the biggest people after her was Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch came out to one of the biggest pops, if not the biggest pop in the Rumble. Now, everyone is behind the man, Becky Lynch. Everyone is behind her. Everyone wants her to win and go to Mania. After all, she was the first woman to win the main event at WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair for both Raw and SmackDown women's titles at the time. And that was a good number, I think, of 5 or 6 years ago. So WWE they really do heavily believe in Becky Lynch. And this entry right here, when she came out, the pop she got, that just proves the star power she holds. This just proves that she has millions of followers, that people came to the Rumble just to see her be in it, just to hopefully see her win it. Becky Lynch really proved in this entry alone that she is probably one of, if not the biggest women stars on the WWE roster. So we get some other entries in here. And number 24, you have to love it. Valhalla came out. Now she comes out with her antlers on. She's coming out acting like she means business. And she doesn't even get to the ring yet. And R-Truth's music hits. He comes out, runs past her, looks at her like, what the hell are you supposed to be? And he gets in the ring. Now, Valhalla thinks he just stole my spot. He meets up with Nia Jax once again in the Rumble. And she tosses him out. She gets rid of him. Adam Pearce says, Valhalla, you're in. R-Truth, you're out. And Valhalla is out in 3 seconds. She gets in and she's thrown right over. And it was so funny to see the comedy gold that R-Truth is, because he comes out. No one expected to see R-Truth in this Rumble. No one expected to see him come out and do something in this Rumble. And yet he does. And he comes out and gets thrown over real quick. Yes, he's not an official entrant in the match, but it was probably the most comedic moment in the match. And in some matches, like the Royal Rumble, you need drama, you need laughter, you need those awe and boos, you need all these type of emotions in a Rumble match. And R-Truth did not disappoint with the comedy moment. So I want to say that was pretty cool to see, and I'm going to give it up just because I love R-Truth. Then we get back to the entries: Michin, Zoe Stark, Roxanne Perez, and then entry 28. Everyone expected to see this woman in the Rumble. If she wasn't going to be in the Rumble, if she wasn't in it, people would have been like, what the hell? But people paid to see it, and they were not disappointed. At 28, Jade Cargill makes her WWE debut. Now, we saw her at Survivor Series. We've seen her on a couple backstage segments on Raws and SmackDowns, but we haven't seen her wrestle yet. Now, she's been in WWE training and at the PC Center getting ready for this debut, and she came out and did not disappoint. She got one of the biggest pops of the match, maybe of the night. When she came out, people were like, okay, now we're getting down to business. Now we're going to see what she can do. We're going to see what this Rumble match is really about. And Cargill did not disappoint when she lifted up Nia Jax and tossed her over the rope. Even Becky Lynch looked over at her like that was crazy. Like, I did not think that you could do that. Jade Cargill is a monster. She is a muscle machine, and she proved that when she picked up and tossed Nia Jax right out of the ring. The way that we did Jade Cargill in this Rumble, save her till one of the last 3 entrants. Make her go the distance. Make her be one of the last 2 people eliminated. I gotta give a thumbs up to WWE for doing that. They really did put Jade Cargill in a good spot. She didn't have to wrestle the whole match, you know. She got it kind of easy. She came out. She was in there for maybe not even a quarter of the match, but her entry and her time in the match, it did what it was supposed to do. She didn't come out at 1. She didn't come out at 5. She didn't come out at 10 or 15, and she didn't have to wrestle a whole Rumble or even half a Rumble. She came out to showcase some abilities, show her strength, match up with some of today's superstars. And when she was standing across the ring from Bianca and the crowd was going crazy, that is what WWE does. That's a moment that, you know, WWE tests the waters with. Okay, we see her and Bianca across the ring and the crowd's going crazy. The crowd wants to see this. They know now that this is a matchup that they can have in the future that fans will pay to see. And like I said, I gotta give them an up for what they did with Jade Cargill's entry. Then we get Tiffany Stratton from NXT. She is one of the top female stars on NXT. She's really learning. She's really coming along nice, and she's making herself pretty much ready for the main roster. And when she came out, everyone knew that, okay, this is one of the only NXT entrants we're getting. Let's appreciate it. Let's enjoy it. And Tiffany Stratton put on a decent showing. She was out there for about 6 minutes, 52 seconds, almost 7 minutes. And, you know, when you look at people like Valhalla, who's been on the main roster for a while, and she got eliminated in 3 seconds, you got to take someone like Tiffany Stratton 7 minutes and say, hey, that's more than what some of the main roster people got. So Tiffany Stratton coming out and putting on a good showing in this Rumble, you know, letting a lot of people who don't watch NXT know her name and see her abilities. That's what the Rumble's about. And then we got the returning Liv Morgan, my favorite girl in wrestling. I got a soft spot for Liv Morgan. She's right up there with Bianca Belair with me, but I have a special love for Liv, and it was so great to see Liv Morgan return after 30 days. Not 30 days, but, you know, so many months out of the ring. Coming out at the number 30 entrant, and it comes down to Liv Morgan, Bayley, and Jade Cargill in the very last 3 of the Rumble. Now, when Jade and when all 3 of these women were like on the outside of the ring, and you see, or on the apron, and you see Liv Morgan, who, you know, a lot of people want to see the returning Liv Morgan win. A lot of people want to see the new debut Jade Cargill win. A lot of people are behind Bayley, the workhorse who's been there forever. When you have these 3 women, neither one of them can be a bad choice to win. You could have chose Jade Cargill or Liv Morgan or Bayley, who was the winner, and it's not going to be a bad decision. The crowd would have erupted over any one of these women winning. And Liv Morgan goes out, Cargill goes out, and we now have a Royal Rumble victor in Bayley. And a lot of people, including me, will say Bayley deserves it. She came in with the hug your gimmick, and it didn't click after a while. It wasn't what the fans wanted. She came back as a heel, but she had to prove to the fans that this nice hug-and-go woman can come in and reinvent herself and be the heel that she needs to be. And she's been doing that. She's her group, Damage Control. She has Kairi Sane and Io Sky. Her star aura has elevated them into multiple women tag team reigns. Io winning a Money in the Bank and a women's title. Then you got the Kabuki Warriors joining them, and they just won the women's tag team titles here on SmackDown this past Friday. So if you look at Damage Control, Bayley as the leader has pretty much given these women a place to show their abilities, a place to break out and be their own stars one day, and that's what Damage Control has done. It has given credit and history to its members, and Bayley was the only one who hasn't won anything. and Bayley finally saying, I contributed to this group. I have my own accomplishment within this group. And that right now is winning the Rumble. That is amazing, and I want to give him an up for, I want to give WWE an up for giving Bayley this well-deserved match, this well-deserved win. Now, we can see her break up with Damage Control and face Io Sky at WrestleMania down the road, or we can see her keep a promise, go to WrestleMania and challenge Rhea Ripley, and if she wins, Damage Control holds just about every title WWE has to offer the women. And, you have to give it an up there. Now, the only down I will give it, this match, is we didn't see any Hall of Famers. So a lot of people, that's an up, because more current stars get that payday, they get that entry, they get their spot in the Rumble, and I'm all down for that. But I would like to see the Trish Stratuses and the Litas make an appearance. People like me who grew up in the 2000s watching these people as a kid, it's nice to see them come back. I will give it a down because it's my show, it's my segment, and I'm saying it. I give it a down for no Hall of Famers, but I can see where you would give it an up for, the current stars and outside stars coming in and making a name for themselves. Then we get on to the second match, the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight title match. Roman Reigns defending against LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton. An up-and-coming star in WWE such as LA Knight, who still has a name to make for himself, still has a lot to prove on the main roster. Then you got two veterans that he has not defended the title yet against in this 3+ year reign, and that's AJ Styles and Randy Orton. Now, what this match did was it gave LA Knight a redemption, a second shot for the WWE title. But then it gave also Roman Reigns a chance to knock off two people in one match that he has not defended the title against, and that was Orton and Styles. Now, a lot of people actually thought that this was going to be the end. This is where Randy Orton gets his revenge after being out for 18 months, and he wins the title. A lot of people could have said they saw this new and dark AJ Styles winning. A lot of people said that they could have saw the underdog, the least person to win, LA Knight, coming out on top. But I knew, and I acknowledge my tribal chief Roman Reigns, that I knew that Roman Reigns would find a way to win, and that was the beauty of it. I knew, even if you knew that Roman Reigns wasn't losing at this event, it wasn't, okay, I know Roman's going to win. It was, how is Roman going to win? It's not about the ending, it's about the story. It's about getting to the end. You can read the ending of a book, but that ain't the exciting part. The exciting part is the story that you tell to get there. And that's what we did in this match. We put the odds up against Roman. How is Roman going to overcome his biggest challenge yet, a fatal 4-way match, where he only has 25% chance of winning, and there is no champion's advantage. We got lucky. Us Roman Reigns fans, we got lucky. Solo Sikoa was able to come out and help Roman once again retain. Now, to me, when you're a champion as long as Roman has been, you have to keep that reign intact. There is no how you did it. There's no questions on how you do it. The point is you find a way. And Solo Sikoa really played a big part in Roman retaining. So, for me, this match gets an up. Not just because of the story it told, not just because of the odds Roman had to come out and face, but it gets an up for me just because my tribal chief, once again, proved that he is the one, the head of the table, the tribal chief. Then we get to our third match for the United States title, champion Logan Paul defending against Kevin Owens. Now, I knew that Logan Paul wasn't losing this match. His first title defense since winning the title. Logan Paul just signed a full-time contract. He's going to start being there more, doing more matches. I feel like this was a match where Logan Paul was gonna, he was obviously gonna win, but once again, it was one of them stories on how they're gonna overcome Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens had that injury on his arm, so we kind of knew that was gonna come in and be a factor. Logan Paul had some podcast buddies get involved, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, finding a way to help him out, and pretty much in this match, if you look at the chest of Logan Paul, he took a beating. His chest was beat red, looked like hamburger meat. It was kind of like an introduction, like, now that you're a full-time superstar, I'm going to treat you like one. And he got his ass handed to him, no doubt about it. But he found a way to win. Austin Theory throws in the brass knucks, and it doesn't go Logan's way. Kevin Owens decides to use the knucks, and he pins Logan 1, 2. The referee notices the knucks. The referee says, I see the knucks on your hand. I know that you used them. Disqualification. It was a great way for Logan to keep his title because, first off, he didn't have to go out there and beat Kevin Owens. And do I think it would have made Owens look weak? No. But I do think that it was a good way to keep Owens strong. It was a good way to, say that Logan Paul didn't actually pin him to beat him. But it was a good way to say, hey, you still lost. You don't get the title. You lost to him. Yeah. So Kevin Owens does get the loss here. But he doesn't get pinned or submitted. That's a way of keeping talent safe. That's a way of, not diminishing their name, tarnishing their name. Now, I will give this a down. And here's why. Logan Paul, first United States Championship title defense. He needed to prove, like, hey, I am a champion. I can go out here and beat stars like Kevin Owens. I can go out here and beat people like Roman Reigns or the big guys. He's been in matches with these big name stars, and Kevin Owens is no different. He should have been able to go out there and, even if he would have cheated, get away with it. But the fact that we had these interferences and everything, it just makes Logan look weak. Like, okay, you've been champion for 80 plus days. This is your chance to prove you're champion for a reason. And instead of, him proving himself as a champion, we had other people such as podcast buddies jumping the barricade. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory coming out and doing their job, doing their playing their part in this. I think it just makes Logan look like he can't handle himself. Now, he is an athlete in and outside WWE. He does work hard, I think, training-wise. I think he could really be his own champion. But his first title defense, and he does not get to prove to the crowd or to Kevin or to himself even that he can do it on his own. Now, I understand some wrestlers are going to have, especially heel wrestlers, are going to have that cheating way. They're going to have people get involved and interfere. And I get that. That's fine. But as long as you don't do it every single match. And Logan Paul's first defense, making him kind of look weak here, like he couldn't do it by himself, gets a down. And then we get to the fourth and final match, the main event, the match we've all been dying to see, the men's Royal Rumble match. Starting off, the match makes history already. Cody Rhodes winning the match, becomes the first guy in 26 years since Stone Cold did it in like 96, 97, winning 2 back-to-back Rumbles. This was a history-making moment. We have not seen this happen within 2 centuries, I believe. Last time we saw this, it was 96, 97. I was a kid. I was an itty-bitty kid. I was born in 93. So, I wasn't even 7 years old yet. Not even 6 or 7 years old yet when that happened. And here I am, 31 years old. History was made because for the first time in 25 plus years, this happens again. So You have to give credit to WWE for making already history with a Rumble victory. Now, I will give it a thumbs up. It does get a thumbs up for me for the history-making moment it had. It gets a down from me because Cody Rhodes won it. I'm not a big Cody Rhodes fan. I like him. I guess you could say I'm kind of a fan, but the whole finish the story stuff has just, it's gotten old to me. And I knew that if Cody won, he was going to go and challenge Roman again. And I don't want to see Cody be the one to finish Roman's reign. I don't want to see him face Roman again for 2 years in a row. I don't want to see it. A lot of fans don't want to see it. A lot of fans do want to see it. But this is my show, my segment, and it gets it down for that particular reason. Now, this match had quite a bit of interesting people in it. Now, we will address the elephant in the room. Where was Brock Lesnar? Well, Brock Lesnar has been involved in some allegations with Vince McMahon in the past week. Matter of fact, it happened the Thursday, I think, right before SmackDown. From what I understand, Brock was supposed to make an appearance on SmackDown, make his name known, declare the Rumble, and be in the Rumble. And Brock was not anywhere near the Rumble. He wasn't mentioned. He wasn't in it. And from what I understand, from what I read all around the internet, Brock was pulled from the event. Because he is dragged into this Vince McMahon drama, WWE wanted to kind of wanted to distance themselves from Brock. So they pulled all creative plans. They took him from the Rumble. They said, hey, don't be coming up with plans for Brock right now. So as for Brock and the Rumble and maybe even Mania, those plans are pretty much scrapped at this moment. So the way we look at it is, I have to give WWE an up for this. Jey Uso enters the ring at 1 and Jimmy Uso number 2. We've not seen these brothers face off in any capacity other than attacking each other. And for them to come out the first 2 entries, the look on their faces, like, it just made that moment so surreal. Like, if they're going to face each other at WrestleMania, this was a way to start that off. Through the whole match, we see Jimmy and Jey fighting in the beginning. They had their moments where they fought. But then Jimmy Uso was so against Jey. He was trying to be friends with everyone. He was trying to get everyone on board with, hey, let's get Jey out of here. And it really intensifies the feud because Jimmy has no remorse. Jimmy has no mercy for his twin, for his brother. And he wants to make Roman proud so much that he is willing to pretty much dash his own brother's dreams to get there. So we get Grayson Waller at 3, and then we get our first surprise entry at number 4, and it is the returning Andrade. Andrade was just in AEW not too long ago. I think he lost to Miro, aka Rusev, in their last pay-per-view they had. But Andrade finished up with AEW, and he comes back to WWE. Now, Triple H, running NXT at the time, he made NXT stars, such as Author of Pain, Karrion Kross, Andrade himself. And then the whole, in the past couple of years, we've seen a bunch of these stars get fired. Now that Triple H is back in charge and he's running everything and there is no Vince McMahon, this was Triple H saying, I'm bringing back some of my guys, some of the guys that I made, some of the guys that I know can be main event players on this show. And that had to be Triple H's doing, talking to Andrade, saying, we want you back, I want you back. So Andrade coming in at 4 was a big surprise. Then we got some NXT guys in here, such as Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker. Now, after Andrade comes in at 4, we get the normal the normal roster people, such as Shinsuke Nakamura, Karrion Kross, Dominic Mysterio, Bobby Lashley, Finn Balor and Austin Theory. We get our weekly superstars in the match. And then at 15, Cody Rhodes comes out. Now Cody Rhodes was heavily visioned to win this match. People came just to see him win this match. Last year he wins at number 30. He comes in at 15 and he pulls it off. He pulls it off at the very end one year and pulls it off at the halfway mark the other year. So Cody Rhodes comes out at 15 and gets probably the biggest pop at this point, and business has picked up. Now we're looking at a potential Rumble winner from this point. Not saying that Jey Uso or Carmelo Hayes or anyone else couldn't be seen winning this match, but when it comes to who you bet your money on, all first 14 entrants, not so promising. If you would have bet your money on Dirty Dom or Carlito or Bobby Lashley, you were most likely losing that bet. You were obviously losing your money there. Cody Rhodes comes out at 15, the game changes. Now we're looking at a odds-on favorite star to win. So then we get a couple more everyday people such as Ivar, Kofi Kingston, Bronson Reed, and another fan favorite. One of 3 people who were, thought to win the match, and that was Gunther. And Gunther comes out and dominates the match for a straight 30 minutes. Another great Rumble showing. But then we get to number 20, which is interesting. Number 20, I believe, was supposed to be Brock Lesnar's entry. And from what I read on a lot of the dirt sheets and a lot of ones that are pretty promising, Braun Breaker came out at 20 and he took Brock's spot. He eliminated the people Brock was supposed to eliminate, and he got eliminated the exact way Brock was going to get eliminated. So Braun Breaker's first Rumble and the second of 2 NXT stars. He got a big pop, big ovation for this match, and people were actually excited to see Braun Breaker. Now, do I think Brock Lesnar would have been a bigger pop, a bigger business is about to pick up moment? Yes, but we didn't get that. We got the same result. We got the same outcome, just a different person. And it has been reported that this moment right here was Brock Lesnar. This was Brock Lesnar's spot. And Braun Breaker, like I said, he took the eliminations. He eliminated the people that Brock was supposed to. He came out at the number Brock was supposed to, and he got eliminated the way Brock was supposed to. So I got to give WWE an up for, if that's the case, I got to give WWE an up for improvising. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? Well, let's go get, Braun Breaker. He's never been in a Rumble. Let's put him in, give him his first Rumble. Let's give him the spot that Brock was going to have. And this is how I think you make an upcoming talent. Braun Breaker might have not been in the Rumble if Brock was okay to go. If Brock Lesnar would have been given the green light, we might not have seen Braun Breaker. But we get Braun Breaker in his first Rumble. We get to see history be made, and Braun Breaker, made the best of the opportunity. So, with the good comes the bad. The next couple picks are interesting. We get Omos, who has only been doing live events and stuff for the past few months. We ain't really seen him on Raw or SmackDown or nothing, pay-per-views. He ain't been around. And then Omos comes out at 21. And, the biggest guy in the Rumble, pretty neat to see, Omos return. Then we see at 22, Pat McAfee. Now, Pat McAfee has already said that WWE did not tell him that his music was going to play. He was going to be an entrant. So I don't know how true that is. Maybe he's saying that for storyline's sake. Maybe he's trying to play the gimmick and the character, and so he's doing it well. But this was great because Pat McAfee lasts literally 38 seconds. He hops in and sees Breaker and Omos. And he hops out on the apron, hops back in like, you know what? No, I'm not scared of these guys. I'm going to get here and fight. And he goes, no, I'm getting out. Never mind. And he eliminates himself at not even 40 seconds in. But I will say that when Pat McAfee first came out to commentate, he got a big pop. But then when he got into the Rumble match, technically being a Rumble competitor, everyone was like, let's see what Pat McAfee can do. Now, he wasn't in his wrestling gear. He was in snakeskin boots and his dress shirt and pants. Um, so I didn't expect much from him when I saw him enter the ring, but I was curious what he was going to do. And he pulls a Jim Carrey and just jumps over the rope, or Drew Carey, my bad. He pulls a Drew Carey, gets out of the ring, and eliminates himself. And okay, it was funny. It was a moment, but that's all it was. It was just there. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't. I think the exciting part was hearing his music play, and oh crap, he's gonna get in the Rumble. After he gets in the ring, and you know he's not gonna get his hands dirty. You know he's not gonna compete against these guys. Yeah, it was just there. It was just a filler spot, which I'll give a down to. As much as I love Pat McAfee, I gotta give this moment a down because there is so much potential talent on the roster that could have deserved this spot that they didn't get it. So I gotta give that a down for Pat McAfee taking a spot of a wrestler from Raw, SmackDown, or NXT that really could have used this moment to show to shine and show what their worth is. So we get some more normal everyday people such as JD McDonough, R-Truth, The Miz, and then we get to 27. We get CM Punk. CM Punk was one of the highest betting odds to win this match. It was the highest betting odds was Gunther, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk. And I think if you had to rank it, you would say Cody was the best, the first. Cody was the top guy to win. CM Punk was like there with him, but he was number 2, and then Gunther was number 3. So CM Punk comes out at 27, and he has a great 21-minute and 45-second showing. This was CM Punk's first match back on WWE television in 10 years, and it just so happens to be at the Royal Rumble. He ain't competed in a match since in WWE. He ain't competed in a match in WWE since the 2014 Royal Rumble, and he returns back to WWE programming on TV, on pay-per-view at the 2024. So a 10-year difference is, this is history-making moment. Now, I have my reasons why I'm not a CM Punk fan, and that's fine. That's my opinion, and that's all that matters to me on this show. But CM Punk coming out and proving he still can go toe-to-toe with the veterans and the new up-and-coming stars, showing that he still has it. I do have to give WWE an up, because they really did give the fans what they wanted to see. The fans have been dying to see CM Punk come back since he left. They rehired him. They've mended relationships and fences here. And CM Punk coming out got one of the biggest pops of the match. So his almost 22-minute showing was great to see. Hopefully we see him on more Raws and SmackDowns and stuff. And then we get our last 3 picks, which is Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, and Sami Zayn. Now, Sami Zayn, to me, I gotta give this an up, because I love Sami Zayn. Ever since he joined the Bloodline stuff, he's really shown what he's capable of doing. Sami Zayn has always been an entertaining star, and now that he's ever since he joined the Bloodline and got kicked out, it's really made a name for himself. And Sami coming out at number 30, that number 30 spot, I think a lot of fans would have loved to see Sami Zayn win this match and maybe even face Rollins at Mania, but that wasn't obviously gonna happen. Now, the notes here is that Karrion Kross was already eliminated when he returned to eliminate Bobby Lashley later in the match. If you didn't catch it or see it, Lashley got eliminated by Kross, and after he was already eliminated, you have AOP and Kross out here beating down Lashley. Here comes the Street Profits, and you have this big brawl at ringside leading all the way up back to the back. And that was pretty cool to see, because maybe a lot of fans are focusing on this brawl outside the ring, and maybe they're figuring out more stuff to do in the ring, taking your eyes off the center of the ring for a second, and then you look back and, okay, here's the game plan, here's where we go from here. So it was kind of interesting to see that. I think we got a WrestleMania matchup there. Street Profits and Lashley taking on AOP and Cross. And I have to give this Rumble, you know, for all the history. I do, like I said, I give it an up for the history it made. First back-to-back Rumbles in 25, 26 years. I do have to give it a down though because Cody Rhodes won. I'm not like everyone else. I have my own opinion, and I just don't want to see another Cody Rhodes finish the story pay-per-view match. I really don't want to see Roman and him fighting again. I want to see Roman Reigns, have Roman Reigns go against someone else he ain't defended the title against. But Roman Reigns has pretty much defeated all the top stars. So Cody Rhodes is saying he's going to Mania. He's going to end the Tribal Chief's reign, and I will not accept it. The only reason I give it a down is because I did not want to see Cody win. I wanted to see CM Punk win, really. So that way we could set up the Rollins and Punk feud. Sure, Rollins has been champion all this time, been the workhorse, but it would have made sense because Punk coming in, his very first match, it's a Rumble, and he wins, and he's got a pay-per-view main event match at Mania for the title. It writes itself. Now, he'll probably challenge Seth for the title and get it. He could get his opportunity by winning a chamber match at Elimination Chamber in Perth. We'll have to see how that goes. But as of right now, Cody Rhodes is the second winner, the first back-to-back Rumble winner in 2 centuries, and I would think that. I think they used the word centuries. I'm thinking like decades, but it might have been 2 centuries. But Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble back-to-back, yes, is history making moments. This is what we live to see. It just wasn't my guy. So I hope you guys at least enjoyed this up and downs. We're gonna try. This is my first one, so we're gonna try to get better at it. We're gonna try to have fun with it. Right in the comments, let me know who you wanted to win the men and women's rumbles. Let me know how you wanted to see the United States and Universal title matches go. Tell me your ups and downs in the comments. And don't forget to check out Ring Post Daily Podcast on Facebook. This is Awesome One Joey from Ring Post Daily. Wish you a good day.